The Young Thug release date has just changed. It's all due to the prosecutor now releasing their best evidence against Young Thug and YSL. A report goes and reads, Young Thug was named as an alleged firearm man in the 2013 incident during a 911 call, as played during the YSL RICO trial today.
Okay, so who is? I have no idea, babe. I promise I can't tell y'all that. I don't know. All that I know, she came to my house and told me that the guy that shot my name Young Thug, what it's supposed to be. Somebody in the guy is in her house. So I don't know how y'all can do that. I'm trying to go out the house, but you want the phone now. Okay, all right.
Online lawyers are revealing that the feds had no choice but to release this evidence early. This is because of what Young Thug's lawyers have been doing lately inside of the courtroom. The last 2 weeks, Thug's lawyer has torn apart all of the prosecutor's evidence, making him look extremely innocent. The state's best investigator against Young Thug and YSL has been following and investigating them for 10 years. However, Thug's lawyer Brian Steele had a hunch that this guy wasn't investigating anything, so he would expose him for his lack of research.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming, I don't want to assume, you went through that entire Tumblr account to educate yourself for your testimony for the jurors, am I correct?
No, sir. This is the only post from this Tumblr account that I've reviewed.
You didn't look at all of Mr. Williams' Tumblr account?
No, sir.
How did you know to review this one picture?
Well, when the state asked me to review these particular tweets, this is one that was linked within one of the tweets I was asked to review, and I was asked to review this post from that link.
You weren't curious to know what else is on that Tumblr account?
I was not, no.
Well, since you come back, I'm inviting you to look at it if you want to, but every one of those posts has to do with music. Do you realize that?
Objection and hearsay.
It's not hearsay.
This is when Thug's lawyer would do something extremely rare inside of a courtroom. He would tell the investigator on the stand to go home, go do more research, and then come back with an answer.
Do you know, as you sit here, what all the other Tumblr posts deal with?
Objection.
Basis.
It would be speculation because he said he has not.
I stand the objection.
You do me a favor. If you come back, which I'll call you if you need, I want you to review all that Tumblr, okay?
Sure.
Account. And then you tell the jurors everything else that's on that Tumblr account, okay?
Sure.
And tell them if it has anything other than music-oriented promotion, okay?
Well, I would say even this photo has more than just music promotion.
That's great.
As this really seems like a joke and an embarrassment of the entire police department, having their main investigator at 10 years not even doing his job of investigating. Rappers would begin reacting and mocking the investigator. However, it would end very badly for them, as the following day the investigator would then call out Lil Wayne and his affiliation to the same street team that Young Thug is a part of.
And are you familiar with who this individual is?
I am.
And who is that?
It's Dwayne Carter.
Okay. And does he have another name that he goes by?
He does.
So what is that?
Lil Wayne.
And are you aware, through any of your non-trained experience, if Mr. Carter, Dwayne Carter, self-identifies as a member of?
I believe that he does.
Okay. Tell the jury if you need to stand with the stick and point to what those identifiers are within Defense Exhibit 31.
There's a large MOB across his chest, often used particularly by West Coast, but is used across the country. He has 5 red 5-point stars across his chest.
As while they were on the topic of Lil Wayne, we would then see another rapper get involved in the same court case, and this would be none other than YNW Melly, as the two rappers were involved in a Facebook post together several years ago.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, hanging with Doug, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with the 5-point star as well. Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and see the individuals again. I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's all unknown.
Yes.
also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
They're trying to prove that YNW Melly's team YNW has street ties connected to Young Thug's team YSL. This is then when we would see Bryson Paul tweet, Detective Danny Polo on what slat means. Slat means sliming up all the time, and it came out of the YSL language. The Reds started copying it. YSL, the team, is made up of Reds, and in the photo, Melly is with Young Thug, who is currently on trial for RICO. The YSL team is throwing up red signs, as prosecutors are now believing that YSL has connections to YNW. And on top of that evidence, the prosecutors, they really only have other small evidence against Thug. However, when you add it all up together, it can get a little concerning, such as this old music video from Young Thug, where he would throw up hand signs referring to being a part of the Red Street team.
Did you see Mr. Williams putting up any identifying signs within that first few seconds of the video?
I did.
And what was he doing?
He was throwing the B's again, the 2 guns, and he also threw a 5-point star.
In that particular portion at 1:30, do you see Mr. Williams throwing up any?
I did.
And what did he throw up?
He threw up the 2 guns again.
Now, why that is important is because of the crimes that Young Thug was allegedly a part of were at the exact same time these old music videos were all recorded. They would showcase several music videos from Young Thug throwing up his team's hand sign. But things would get even crazier as the investigator would then share another piece of evidence on Thug, where he would confirm that there is several videos of him self-snitching on social media.
Now, have you had the occasion to view any videos with Mr. Williams in which he either himself self-identifies or associates himself either as a member of Rock Crew and or a member of YSL?
I have.
How many videos have you seen?
I don't know the exact number, but a few.
Okay. For the purposes of this testimony today, have you seen 3 specific videos as it relates to this testimony today?
I have.
As this will all now affect Young Thug's release date. Just like Boosie said about YNW Melly, when the feds want you, they'll do anything to get you. As these investigators are now going back several years ago, seeing if Thug is self-snitching in music videos.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was sitting in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. I just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really. And with Young Thug now in a very terrible situation, Thug's lawyer knew he had to make a move. Thug's lawyer would go on to defend the YSL snitch Trontavious Stevens, and he somehow made it look very good for Young Thug, which is unbelievable in a court setting, as Thug's lawyer would reveal that Trontavious gave the definition of the word slime very recently.
Word slime, what does it mean?
Good question. That's a good question. So, the S is for slug, the L is for love, the I is for I, the M is for me, and the E for everything.
That is the only thing that slime meant to you when you had a tattoo put in your body.
Yes, ma'am, that's what it means to me. That's what that tattoo means to me.
Is slime ever used in any other kind of way? As by you or any of the people that
like breaking it down, how I do it?
No, like the meaning of the word slime.
No, it's slime.
As Thug's lawyer is mentioning this because the investigator said that that was a lie, and that is not what the word slime means to YSL members. But Thug's lawyer knew this and was ready, so he would share a song inside of the courtroom. This song is several years old, but it has lyrics saying the exact same thing Trontavious said, which confirms that that is actually what the word slime means. So Brian Steele would expose and embarrass him again. He would ask him if he even did a simple Google search.
Did you hear that, detective?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Now, when you gave your testimony yesterday about you've never heard anyone describe slime in the way you just heard on Mr. Williams' number 142, did you ever do a Google search?
No, I did not.
Did you know that question was coming?
No, sir.
You had no idea that the state was going to ask you that question?
No, I thought you meant your question.
No. Yesterday on direct exam, you knew that question was coming, right?
I did. I knew the state was going to ask me what slime meant, yes.
And did you do anything in preparation to say, I want to make sure my testimony is accurate?
I did.
But you never bothered to Google music?
Doing this to an investigator inside of a courtroom is absolutely hilarious. If you know how to use Google, you know how to investigate better than this guy. But Brian Steele was not done here. The investigator claims that Young Thug is a part of the Red Street team, meaning that he's not able to use the letter C in any of his songs. So he replaces the letter C with B's in his music titles. So Brian would call him out once again. He would go down a line shouting out rappers and their songs that all replace the letter C's with the letter B, even though none of these guys are actually a part of the Red Street team.
Post Malone, do you know who Post Malone is?
I know who he is.
Have you heard him do that?
I have not.
Okay. Meek Mill, you know who that artist is?
I do.
Have you know that?
No, sir.
Are you familiar with the song Jumped Out the Face by Meek Mill?
I'm not.
And Post Malone, you are familiar with the song?
No.
Are you familiar with Juice WRLD?
I know who he is.
Are you familiar with, instead of cooling, booling, B-O-O-L-I-N? Are you familiar with that song?
I'm not.
Okay. Trippie Redd, you know who that is?
I know of him.
And do you know the song Bust Down, Again, Booling, rather than cooling? YWN Melly, you know that rapper?
I do.
The song Till the End?
I don't.
Future, you know who that is?
I do.
Absolutely Going Brazy, you know that?
As this makes Thug look extremely innocent inside of the courtroom, and it shows the jury that you don't need to be a part of the Red Street team to avoid using the letter C, as this will easily help Young Thug get released from jail this year.